Hello there, friends. It's me from HFY Stories. And today, we have another terrifying story to tell. It comes from our Discord server. Our channel is dedicated to helping people fall asleep and providing a healthy source of entertainment. You can help us with that goal by subscribing so more people see our videos. Also, if you want to hear more stories like this one, follow us. But let's get into it. This is the story of how Earth won the award for most terrifying planet at the Galactic Congress of Planets. Earth had been nominated for several awards at the Galactic Congress of Planets. The main one, of course, was the coveted title of Most Terrifying Planet. There were some stiff competitors in that category, including, but not limited to, a planet made entirely out of sentient teeth. A gas giant whose atmosphere was full of thousands of different kinds of corrosive acid, and a world where every single creature was an apex predator. Earth, though, had its own terrifying features that had impressed many of the delegates, who had attended the various planetary festivals that were held in the months prior to the Congress. Its sheer biodiversity, its dominant species' capability to destroy themselves and everything around them, and their strange yet surprisingly effective method of dealing with intergalactic visitors were all big hits. Well, the human with the cat said, scratching his neck nervously. Fluffy can't possibly win against these creatures. Don't be silly, replied one of the aliens from the Earth delegation. She can totally do it. Just trust me. He leaned in and whispered his plan to the others, who nodded eagerly. The intergalactic pet show kicked off, and the crowd was buzzing. The first creature sliced through a block of metal like it was butter, revealing a perfect diamond inside. Next, another creature whipped up a perfect sphere of spun sugar that wowed the judges. Then, the third creature shot its stinging tentacles at the ceiling, sticking like grappling hooks. The audience held their breath as the judges huddled and finally announced, "Scores are 9, 9, and a 10. Score purred happily, earning a mountain of fish as a prize. Sorry, the alien said after checking the cat's ID implant, but Earth is banned from the Intergalactic Pet Show. The human's face went red with embarrassment. Oh man, we had no idea. We just wanted Fluffy to enjoy some galactic culture. The alien rolled its many eyes. No worries. Just sign her up. But she'd be up against some seriously scary competition. The human nodded, stunned, and registered Fluffy for the pet show right down the hall. They stepped into the show area and instantly regretted it. First up was a gelatinous cube, no bigger than a fist, lined with rows of shark teeth ready to shred anything that dared to enter. Next, they spotted a mutated iguana that had a wild party trick. It oozed tiny diamonds from its skin. The display case was already packed with hundreds of these sharp little gems. Then, they found a cage holding what looked like a fluffy ball of yarn. Gross! Each strand was actually a coiled tentacle with a venomous stinger. The moment anyone got too close, those tentacles would lash out and sting. One poor guy from the Earth delegation got hit and was now struggling to breathe as his chest swelled up. What a nightmare. Well, the human with the cat said, scratching his neck nervously. Fluffy can't possibly win against these creatures. Don't be silly, replied one of the aliens from the Earth delegation. She can totally do it. Just trust me. He leaned in and whispered his plan to the others, who nodded eagerly. The Intergalactic Pet Show kicked off, and the crowd was buzzing. The first creature sliced through a block of metal like it was butter, revealing a perfect diamond inside. Next, another creature whipped up a perfect sphere of spun sugar that wowed the judges. Then, the third creature shot its stinging tentacles at the ceiling, sticking like grappling hooks. The audience held their breath as the judges huddled and finally announced, "Scores are 9, 9, and a 10. Score purred happily, earning a mountain of fish as a prize. The Earth representative stepped up and held Fluffy, who was now wearing a cute little spacesuit, in front of the audience. A smattering of applause broke out. The judges looked unimpressed. "What can your pet do?" one of them asked. The Earth representative smiled and pressed a button on a remote control. A red dot appeared on Fluffy's collar, which blinked twice. "She's an excellent hunter," the human said. The alien with him added, "If it's a battle to the death you're looking for, this next part's gonna be pretty exciting." The judges looked interested. "Do it." The human took aim at one of the cages and pressed another button on the remote control. Fluffy gave a low growl and pounced. The Earthling hadn't expected Fluffy to be able to jump that far. In fact, none of them had ever seen a house cat jump that far. The alien standing next to the human who threw the ball was less surprised. "She has potential," he said, watching as Fluffy landed lightly on the mutated iguana. The human holding the cat and the alien stood side by side, watching as Fluffy systematically tore the iguana to pieces. All the while, Fluffy let out a low growl that was completely drowned out by the screaming of the creature. Once the iguana was dead, Fluffy moved on to the next cage, where the yarn creature waited patiently for its turn. The Earthling had to admit that he found it impressive how quickly Fluffy dispatched her opponents. On the other hand, he couldn't help but feel a little bad for the poor worm. Then he heard the alien beside him say, "Go," and watched as Fluffy attacked the cage, tearing it apart with her claws and teeth. The Earthling clapped excitedly as Fluffy jumped into the cage and pounced on the yarn ball, sending a flurry of stinging tentacles flying. The yarn creature tried its best to defend itself, but Fluffy was too quick and too vicious. Within seconds, she had torn it to shreds. The humans accompanying Earth as official delegation stood with their mouths hanging open as they watched Fluffy dispatch the 3 contestants. The creature made of teeth was the toughest, but she still only lasted a few minutes. Once the last contestant was torn to pieces, the humans and aliens accompanying the Earth delegation cheered wildly. Fluffy looked around, confused by all the commotion, then rubbed against the leg of one of the humans. "Good girl," he said, scratching her behind the ear. When the scores were finally tallied up, it turned out that Fluffy had gotten a perfect score. She was presented with a huge cut of meat and a silver collar studded with rubies, then allowed to walk around the convention center for the rest of the night. After all, she had proven herself to be the most terrifying creature in the galaxy. As the hours passed, the humans and aliens slowly made their way to the main auditorium for the awarding of the title of Most Terrifying Planet. Many of them were tired and excited to find out which planet would win the grand prize. When the results were finally announced, it wasn't really much of a surprise to learn that Earth had won. The humans and aliens representing Earth on the stage accepted the award and gave a speech thanking the other planets for their votes. As the cheers died down, the humans and aliens made their way to the exit, eager to get home and sleep. Outside the building, a starship the size of a small mountain awaited them. It was decorated with the emblem of the Galactic Congress of Planets and had obviously been used to transport delegates around the galaxy. One of the aliens riding in the ship noticed something on the ground outside the convention center. "What's that?" he asked. The human looked down and frowned. "I don't know," he said. "Let's ask someone." The two approached one of the security droids and asked it what the object was. The droid pointed with one of its many arms towards a clump of dirt near the base of the spaceship. "That is your planet," the droid said. The human looked at the lump of dirt and sighed. "I guess it is," he said. "Well, thanks for reminding me. I almost forgot." He scooped up the dirt and placed it carefully inside a plastic baggie. "Be sure to bring it back with you," one of the humans said to the other. "Yes, of course," the human replied. As the ship disappeared into the night sky, the humans and aliens rode in comfortable silence, each lost in their own thoughts about their own planets. Suddenly, one of the humans broke the silence. "Hey, did any of you guys bring a shovel?" he asked. The others looked at him in confusion. "Why would we need a shovel?" one of them asked. The human blushed. Never mind, he said. I guess I forgot to pack mine. The ship continued on in comfortable silence until it reached the humans' home planet, Earth. As the ship docked, the humans and aliens filed out of it, ready to finally go home and sleep. The human with the bag of dirt in his hand walked slowly behind the others, taking in the sights and sounds of his home planet. He breathed deeply, savoring the fresh air, then walked towards his house. As he opened the door and walked inside, he remembered something he had forgotten for years. This was the most dangerous planet in the galaxy, and he was lucky enough to have survived it. That concludes our story. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please subscribe, because we love bringing you new and interesting content. Thank you for listening, and have a great day.